There are some people who come into your life and they leave footprints so deep, they really change the landscape of who you are forever. Nicole Thompson was one of those people for me. On September 16th, 2025, we lost my dear friend Nicole to cancer. She was only 53 years old. But before she left us, she made sure her light would continue to shine through her work, through her book, and through the countless women's lives that she transformed. You see, Nicole was a pioneer. Long before pelvic health became like a mainstream conversation, she was there educating, supporting, and empowering women to reclaim their bodies and their strength. This is what I admired about Nicole. She had an incredible ability to make you feel instantly seen, instantly understood, and instantly loved. She had the best laugh and smile. She was always happy. And less than 2 years after her diagnosis, so she got diagnosed in, I believe it was October or November in 2023, Nicole accomplished something extraordinary. She wrote a book. I remember when she told me that she was going to do this. She's like, I want to write a book about everything I know. And the book was, she already knew the name of it. It was going to be called Pelvic Floor Secrets, which was her brand that she had established over the years. And she poured every ounce of her wisdom, her heart, and her expertise onto those pages, not for herself, but for us, for the women she knew who would need her guidance even after she was gone. And she dedicated this book to her two beautiful girls, leaving them a piece of her brilliant mind and loving heart that will last forever with them. So in this episode is a tribute to Nicole. I'm sharing a replay of a lunch and learn that was from September in 2022, back when Nicole joined me in my private Facebook community to share her expertise on fitness and pelvic floor health. And I had invited her in to share, what she knew about pelvic floor because, so many women suffer with leaking and pelvic floor issues. And she was an expert in this field. And so I brought her in, and that's what this episode is about. It's a replay from that as a tribute to Nicole. Listening to it now, you'll hear the warmth, her passion, and her infectious positive energy that made everyone feel like they could conquer anything. And this is what I loved about Nicole, and why I loved having her as a friend is like just seeing her accomplish so many things really gave me a lot of drive to do a lot of things as well too. So this isn't just a podcast episode. It is really a celebration of my beautiful friend and remarkable woman who dedicated her life to helping other women just like I do now. And she faced her greatest challenge. Okay. And I remember when she got diagnosed with cancer and she told me, this is what I'm made for. All my life, I've been training hard and strength training hard, and fitness and health was a top priority for me. I was made to fight this. But it's a reminder that the work that we do, the love that we share, and the knowledge we pass on can ripple through generations. To Nicole's daughters, to everyone who knew her, and to those who will discover her through her work, this is for you. This is for all of us who believe that one person's light can illuminate the path for thousands. This is a tribute to Nicole, that her work continues to live on. This is something that I said that I will continue to do so that her legacy continues and that we will make sure that her light never dims. Thank you for joining me in this tribute episode to Nicole. If pelvic floor issues and leaking is something that you've been struggling with, then this is definitely going to help you out. Not just to learn from Nicole's expertise, but to really celebrate this incredible woman she was and the lasting impact that she continues to have on all of us. In the show notes below, you'll find two important links that I hope you'll take a moment to visit. The first is to purchase Nicole's book that she wrote, Pelvic Floor Secrets. It is all of her life's work and the gift she fought so hard to leave behind for all of us. I truly, she worked really hard while battling cancer to have this book written and released. And it was released in June of this past year of 2025. Every page contains her expertise, her heart, and her unwavering commitment to helping women reclaim their strength and their confidence. The second link is even more personal. It's to a legacy fund we've established for Nicole's daughters, Kate and Allie. Your contribution will go directly into a trust account for them, helping them secure their future and continuing their mother's legacy of making a positive impact on the world. Every donation, no matter the size, represents our community coming together to support two young women who lost their biggest champion far too soon. Nicole was only 53. She had so much more life to live. 100% of those donations go directly to Kate and Allie's trust fund. And by purchasing her book, you're learning from Nicole. By contributing to her daughter's fund, you're loving like Nicole. Both actions ensure that her light continues to shine exactly as she is intended, through knowledge, through love, and through the next generation. So thank you for being part of this tribute and for helping us honor a woman who gave us so much to so many. I hope you enjoy this episode of Nicole talking about what she loved to talk about. She was so passionate about pelvic floor. She goes into her own history with pelvic floor issues and leaking and how she addressed that, how she changed that, how she corrected that. And through her own experience and the education that she had gotten, how she created this pelvic floor program, Pelvic Secrets program that has now helped, hundreds, maybe thousands of women to date and will continue to help these women. So thank you in joining me for this episode. I would love to hear your comments in the comments section. If it would help, if you love the episode, please be sure to share it with a friend or family member. Welcome to Muscle, Strength, and Menopause, the podcast for women over 40 who refuse to accept that nothing works anymore. I'm your host, Sarah Frenza, a certified nutrition coach, fitness expert, and hormone and menopause specialist, and the founder of the science-backed Hourglass Body Method. After losing 50 pounds in my 40s and helping hundreds of women transform their bodies and life, I'm here to show you the real way to lose fat, build muscle, and get stronger in midlife without burnout, starvation, or shame. If you're tired of fighting your hormones, struggling with stubborn belly fat, or wondering if it's too late to build the strong, confident body you want, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll break down the science, bust the myths, and share the exact strategies that are working right now for women in perimenopause and menopause. Because muscle is your menopause superpower, and we're about to show you how to claim it. Let's dive in. All right. We are now live in Facebook. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, we will give some time for people to join us over here. But thank you, everyone, for attending this live Lunch and Learn today with my special guest, Nicole Thorne. I'm super excited to have you here, Nicole. For those of you that are new here, my name is Sarah Frenza, and I am a women's nutrition and body transformation coach. After losing over 50 pounds and going through my own body transformation, I have made it my mission to teach women how to eat and lift their way to the body of their dreams through my exclusive Restore, Lean Out, and Sustain Body Transformation Protocol. But today, I am super excited to have my special guest, Nicole Thorne, who is a strength training coach, specializing in helping women eliminate leaking and pain by restoring their functional core system. She is a certified fitness professional, master trainer for core confidence education, the leading certification for pre and postnatal rehabilitation. She has over 30 years of experience training women. And she's also the owner and founder of Pelvic Floor Secrets. So Nicole believes in retraining and resetting the body first and foremost, so safe movement becomes natural and automatic. And before embarking on strength training programs that meet women where they are in their own health and fitness journey. So today, the topic is why you are leaking while you lift or exercise in an everyday life. This is what you're going to learn, is why this is happening, what you can do to help resolve this issue, and how you can live a leak-free life. So for those of you that are watching live on Facebook, I'm going to be monitoring everything here. So if you do have any questions, please write the questions in the comment section in Facebook, and I'll kind of ask them as we go. But thank you. Welcome, first of all, Nicole, to the group. And thank you for taking the time to come out and chat with all of us and educate us. So tell us a little bit about how you became an expert in helping women with pelvic floor issues. Tell us your background.
Sure. Thank you, everybody. I'm super happy to be here. Okay, so basically, I started 30 years ago as a fitness instructor. So this is like 1990s when like high impact aerobics was really big, box aerobics came in around that time as well and stuff like that. And that I was 20 years old at the time and just loved that kind of workout, that kind of thing, right? Like I have a lot of energy. So I did that for years, for like 15 years. Plus I trained people as well. And that I wasn't exclusively women at that time. But then I had my babies. I had two daughters, one at 34 years old and one at 36 years old. I did not change my mindset, even though I was taking certifications all those years, like for 15 years. Like I had been immersed in the fitness industry very deeply. I had never, ever heard the word pelvic floor or any of the other things associated with it. So I had my babies. I just assumed that I would get my body back immediately. And that if anybody could do it without a hitch, it would be me. And it didn't even cross my mind that I should prep in any way or do anything different. I really bought into that thing going on, which I believe maybe still is going on, where you can just have your baby and boom, you're back, and you should be pushing yourself and all those kinds of things. I was big time in that mindset at the time, and it hurt me.
Okay.
It hurt me very badly. So I was like a 35-year-old. To look at me, I looked incredible, right? Because I worked out very hard and I did. So aesthetically, I looked great, but inside things were not working. If I had a cough, Sarah, I wouldn't be able to leave my house because that's how bad my leaking was. Remember, I'm 35 at the time. And
question, did the leaking happen like immediately after you had the babies, or when did you notice that the leaking happened?
No, so it started slowly.
Okay.
It is a development. And this is what happens with most women because your body is resilient, right? I mean, there was those issues that all of us have directly after giving birth, which also no one talks about.
Yeah.
It look more, related to birth itself. So it was what happened to me. It was the way that I jumped back into my fitness, not having any knowledge about this. And I hit it hard because I wanted my body back. That was my thing back then. And that's when things just progressively came worse, 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 and worse until it was really, really bad.
So you're saying because of the way that you went back and returned to fitness, going super hardcore and not being careful. I mean, you didn't know not to do that. That is really what caused the issues to be worse. Nicole, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So you started leaking, and what did you do about it?
So honestly, I didn't even know I could do anything. So at first I didn't do anything. At first I just was kind of putting up with it.
Okay.
Which is something else that women say to me all the time, right?
They think it's normal. They think it's normal. Yeah.
They think they need to put up with it. Well, unfortunately, their doctors, even today in 2022, is telling them that it's something they have to put up with. And I'm telling you, I'm going to put this in right now. Absolutely 1,000 million %. That is not true. And I routinely fix it like we fix all kinds of things in strength training,
Okay. So why, so explain to us why do women leak? What's happening? What's happening inside that's making them leak after? Obviously, it's childbirth that causes it, right, Nicole?
Well, no, actually, childbirth exasperates it.
Okay.
So if you I have women that I've trained before they even get pregnant, and they don't have issues. So it's actually more of what's happening with the body than childbirth itself. It's just not doing the prep, then childbirth exasperates it.
Got it.
But you can completely be normal, and your childbirth can be normal, and you don't have this issue.
Okay. So what causes the leaking?
So this is going to blow your mind because of how simple it is. Like, I know you want me to say some really complicated equation. And I wish I had a complicated equation because it would be so much cooler. But
Yeah.
but it is alignment. Now, before everybody's eyes glaze over,
Yeah.
we can get into this a little bit more.
Okay.
One thing that I will recommend before we go any further is there are things that are happening with people, right? Like they have tight pelvic floors. They have, these various things going on. Childbirth gets added and things like this. So yes, pelvic floor physio is your stop to go to address the area, in this case, pelvic floor, in an isolated way.
Okay.
But people will tell me all the time that only takes them so far. So for example, people can resonate more with this. Let's say you go to chiro because you have a sore back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chiro does fix it.
Yes.
But then a month later, 2 months later, whatever amount of time your body decides to, go back to the way that it was, now it's not fixed.
Yeah.
So it's not because chiro didn't do their job. They did their job. It's just this next piece, the piece that I do, strength training, is missing.
So it's basically helping your body maintain those results. So for example, they go to pelvic floor physio, but then it's what they're doing afterwards to help maintain that fix, right? Is that what you're saying?
So let me make it even simpler. So there is a reason, besides childbirth, there is a reason that it happened. So the reason is alignment based. So people have shoulders like this. People have pelvises tucked under. For you guys at home, if you want to stand up and literally stand like that, you will see already that your core is kind of just like hanging there and not have this natural tautness as to when you stand straight up. Mm-hmm. So that's where things start. So because of that, we have an issue that happens. Okay. So leaking happens, prolapse happens. And if you don't address it, then things get worse and worse and worse. And I'll have 60-year-olds writing me with a list this long, but this is normal. This happens in normal, not normal, in the rest of the body as well. Right.
Okay.
If you don't address your shoulder, or let's say you don't address your knee and you continue to run or you continue to do things, well, it's going to add in. But what should happen is person goes to physio, gets their knee addressed, and then they go to strength training and strength train. So that addressing, so whatever caused the pain, doesn't cause it again.
Yes.
So we change that so now the person can continue to heal and they get better and better and better and better and better. And that's what we're doing with the pelvic floor as well.
Okay. So it's really alignment that can cause it. And so, and how can someone know that their alignment is off? Like you're saying, like if their posture is not really straight and the way, like, how could they tell that their alignment is off, Nicole? What could they do?
Definitely, like there's many health professionals that can help with this. Okay. You can even take a picture of yourself, but often people don't know exactly what they're looking for. Because when you tell somebody to fix their posture, they just go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Which is actually not the correct thing to do. And it has its own problems. So you could have a health professional, a person like me, most like personal trainers do know how to if you're in alignment or not and explain to you what this means, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. And then would be the awareness piece for the person. But the problem is there is no human on earth that we can tell them, okay, so bring your shoulders back, untuck your pelvis, blah, 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 all the things. They can hold it for about 10 seconds or less. Yeah. And then they're back here. That's where the strength training becomes very, very important. Release this and strength training. We need to release the tight muscles so that when you strength train it, we actually strength train it to stay there. And that's the key and magic. We need to actually physically transform the body, right?
Yes.
So that it's different now, so that it can function on its own. And all these functions, and including like the pelvic floor, that's what we're talking about, works on its own.
Okay.
So let me go back to something you said earlier about physio. So That's how I became involved. So there was a physio in Toronto where I was living at the time, and she was noticing this. She was noticing she was fixing women, and then they go to the gym or life and get hurt again. And then she was fixing them and they go get hurt again. And it was a revolving door. And this is very normal with, not normal, sorry, common with, right? Because people think, oh, good, I've been fixed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That you need to strengthen to maintain it like afterwards as well, too. I think even so the example you're giving with the back. Yeah. Like if they go to the chiropractor and get it fixed, but they're not strengthening their core to support the back muscle, it's going to continue to happen. So what other symptoms can pelvic floor issues show besides leaking?
Yeah.
Like what other symptoms?
Yeah. So I talk a lot about leaking because that was my issue, but there is prolapse. So this means like an organ is descending down the vaginal canal, and this is in different levels, right? So the earlier we catch something like that, the better. But that's like that with any injury type thing, right? The earlier you get it, the more you can reverse it.
Yes.
So there's that. There is hernias, believe it or not, are based on this whole mechanic of the pelvic floor core not working.
Okay.
Hemorrhoids even.
Wow.
I know, because what is actually happening is what's supposed to happen. Let me get into this now. When you take a breath in,
yes,
your belly is supposed to fill with air, your side body is supposed to fill with air, and your back fills with air. This should happen with every single breath, not forcefully, just normally, right? We call it diaphragmatic breathing. So that you inhale, but at the same time, a message also goes to your pelvic floor. When you exhale, and this is supposed to happen automatically, the pelvic floor contracts up, your belly here in front contracts in, and at the back, it contracts in. So the whole thing, this whole thing is kind of like this with every single breath. When that happens, you have a pelvic floor that's active. It's not like this. It's off like your breath, but all day it works. Right.
Okay.
And now that person goes to do a heavy deadlift. That pelvic floor is like, hey, I gotcha. No problem. I'm awake and working. And so that pelvic floor can jump in and help. Or that person has to all of a sudden run and catch their child that's running into traffic. That pelvic floor is ready because it's working. So watch this. Everybody can try this. If you contract your shoulders roll your shoulders forward like this, and you try to take a breath, no matter how hard you try, Sarah, where is it?
Yeah, it's hurting me in my ribs here.
Okay, so yours went down, but it's hurting you in your ribs. So yours even went far, but generally people will say it's stuck right here.
Oh, okay.
It's even stuck here, you know?
Okay.
But the same thing happens when you try and go the opposite way and you try to take a breath from there. Same thing. If you really pay attention, it's right. It can't go past there. So imagine what's happening. This is people, they live there kind of without knowing, like it's part of our lifestyles with computers and cars and all the things, right? And so they live here. And so imagine that breath is here all day long. Now, there is a fight flight thing with that too, but we're not going to get into that today. We're going to stay here in our pelvic floor. But that is a thing I just want to quickly mention. So imagine what's happening. That whole core, right? So that whole thing that I'm talking about that's supposed to happen automatic, pelvic floor gets messy, but is now not happening. But as women and as humans in general, but women specifically, I think we get stuff done no matter what. You're still taking care of your child. You're still, doing your gardening. You're still lifting things, putting them in your car, all the things. You get it done no matter what. Well, that pressure is here. That pelvic floor is sitting here like this. I'm being very general. And now what's happening? There's pressure. Anytime you move or talk or do something, there's pressure being created here. Well, guess what? Pressure has to go somewhere. So it goes out the bottom, or hernias, it goes here, or rectally, it goes that hemorrhoids, right? And that it's a mismanagement of pressure because that pressure is there. The work is getting done. I guess you could say that it's being mischanneled. And
so is that why the prolapse can happen too? The same type of thing with the prolapse. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things going on. I'm being super general here, guys. So there's the breathing, but there's also the fact that if your pelvis is, say it's like this, it's very common. Look, all my organs are laying back.
Mm-hmm.
They're squashing each other. So I get people with problems such as like constipation type problems. And when we rule out nutrition and water, like, right, this is part of it also. But I also get people with pelvic floor spasms, and then those kinds of things. So you're like, why that?
Yeah.
So if your shoulder, I'm going to give it the shoulder because to make it easy, if your shoulder is like this and all day, all the time you're here, this is not abnormal. Lots of people live here, there.
Yes.
You try to get them,
especially if they're sitting at a desk all day long. That's what's happening. Yeah, for sure.
So they're stuck here. Well, you know what happens? In order for your body to protect itself, which it will, all the ligaments around that, all the muscles are tightening around the ligament here, trying to hang on for dear life. But that's why people will do yoga, older women especially, they'll do yoga thing and stretch, but that tightness never goes away because then they'll stretch and then they're here.
Yeah.
And those are all tight. Well, the same thing is happening with the pelvic floor. So if you're here, organs are back. So that's something. Breast can't come down. So that's a layer. But now also you have that pelvic floor kind of doing that same thing. It's like, it's sort of, right? It's going like this. And then you're still getting work done everywhere that you go. And that pelvic floor is like, it's doing whatever it can, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how the layers happen over time. So a 30-year-old woman is not going to be the same as a 60-year-old woman. We can help them both. And I help them both all the time. But it's like that layer of stuff you did for the last 30 decades or not 30 decades, 3 decades.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't going too deep. It's just that it's like, it's hard to just say one thing.
Yeah. So, well, at least we got through the symptoms and I like how you explained the posture part of it and like what's exactly happening. I think the way you explained it is very, very clear that, if the alignment is off, that pelvic floor can't move and that pressure is causing all of these other things from happening, including leaking. So it's not just the leaking, but the prolapse, the hemorrhoids, the hernia, the constipation, the spasms, like all of these could be signs that you're having pelvic floor issues. So for those that are suffering from pelvic floor issues, Nicole, like what can they do to resolve this, to live a better life, a leak-free life? Like, what are their solutions?
So I'll tell you generally, but I'll just say, like, I have a step-by-step program that is widely successful because, I have a lot of strength training experience, right? So I am addressing the person individually because there is an individual, just like strength training. Like just doing random strength training programs isn't going to get a person the results because their body is not the same as somebody else.
That's right.
Their neighbor's body. So same thing applies here. So the steps are very simple. I'm actually going to offer you all my free guide and they're listed in there.
Awesome.
So,
okay. So guys, just, I will post that in the replay, in the comment section in the replay. I will post the link to that. So if you guys want to grab her free guide, it'll be there. Okay. Sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to let them know that.
Absolutely. No, I love it. You keep me in check. I get excited.
Yes.
It excites me because I feel so upset about that women are being let down this way, and I had to, Sarah, I didn't say this. I'll just segue really quickly. I almost quit fitness.
Because of it?
Sorry?
Because of the leaking?
Yeah, because let's be honest, it stinks. And it's incredibly embarrassing.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm working in person, right? So it was like, I would pack several changes of outfits, but if I had a cough or you can't, I didn't have enough tights to bring.
Yeah.
And but you're not going to change it just doesn't really work. I'll tell you guys a really quick story. I had a very, and this is not an uncommon story. I have many of them, but this one in particular, her name is Esmond, and she was doing that. She was going to the gym. She quit the gym built a gym in her garage because anytime she worked out, specifically deadlifts for her, she would look so bad she'd have to go change before being able to finish her workout.
Wow.
Right. And so that, like, honestly, women are doing stuff like this. I hear stories like this all the time because we still want to work out. We still want to look good. We want to feel good. We want to have all those things. And as a human being, it's our right.
Yeah. And why I wanted to bring you in is I feel that this is a very common issue that nobody wants to talk about. Or that they think it's normal and they don't know how to address it. They don't know that there's a solution out there to really not live like this anymore.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing. There is shame attached to it. And then there's a lot of things we just don't want to talk about. Like, I have people in consultations with me, they go to a private room because they don't want their kids to hear. Sometimes they don't even want their husband to hear. It's a thing. It's not like talking about your shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
But
all right.
To finish Esmond really, really quick. So all I did was teach her these steps that I'm teaching you guys, that I'm talking about now, but obviously it's more elaborate in my program. She texted me back in 2 days that it was.
Wow. That's incredible.
She's already athletic. She already has body awareness. It was just putting the pieces together. Same with me, like that's one thing with athletic women. They already have some pieces there. It's just, unfortunately, Esmond and many, many other women are making the situation worse every time they do a deadlift, which is super sad. Because we're doing a deadlift to make ourselves better.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So anyway,
tell us about the steps.
Yeah, okay. You're dying.
Yes, we want to know.
The first thing is the breathing needs to be retaught.
Okay.
It is innate. It is normal, and you should be able to do it normally automatic. But if your breath has been stuck up here for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, now we have a retraining to happen. And women are very confused at the beginning, like 1 day, 2 days. But, we coach them through this because it's stuck there. So the body is it needs to be reminded and retaught. And we have ways that we do this, like positions that they can get into, like with a yoga block and stuff like this. Not weird positions, but lying down position.
Okay.
Yes. And from there, we want to really have the person understand what alignment means. Now, this is not something I can just tell you also as like a straight recipe, because bodies are different, right? So somebody's anatomical body, like I'm able to do it very easily because I've been doing it for years, so we can help them really. What is it for your body? Where is neutral for you? That's what we're trying to find. So it doesn't look for everybody. And then after that, remember I told you when the shoulders is here and the pelvis, the muscles being tight.
Yeah.
This is where women get in trouble again further with the pelvic floor, because if you just go and jump into your workout program, but you haven't addressed these steps, but including that, you're actually working out and making things worse.
Yeah.
It happens all the time with my athletic girls. Sometimes they come to me and they're like calling me from bed because they're completely out with their back. These are not my clients. It's before, me as a last resort. And it's just because they've been hammering. And then eventually the body's like, you know what? F you.
Yeah.
And if you don't take care of business, that's it. And this
So sorry, Nicole, you said back. Is that they have back pain too? Is that another one that
I didn't mention back pain? Humongous, because it's part of the core.
Yeah.
Thing in this area, back, front, bottom, and top. So back is really, really huge. Most people, a lot of people, when they have one problem, they have the other.
Okay.
It varies. It varies again because it varies. Bodies varies. But anyway, we want to release so that the person can get into neutral. Then we want to strength train the weak parts. We want to do all the things that a good strength training coach does for you. They address your body where you're at so we can change you specifically. And that's why we are hugely successful, because Sarah, as well as me, like when you apply like nutrition too, but nutrition and training, we're not, let's hope oh, let's try. Like it works.
Yes, it does. Yeah. If it's strategic, it works. Yes.
Yes. Same here. Like we're not trying, we're addressing it, and it works every single time, unless the person doesn't do it.
Yeah. So the first step is the breathing, right, Nicole?
Yeah.
First step is addressing the breathing and breathing properly. And I'm assuming with that, it's also posture, right? Aligning the posture.
Step two.
Step two. And then step three is the strengthening.
The releasing and strengthening. Yeah. It has to be together.
The releasing and the strengthening. So can you explain the releasing part of it? What do you mean by that? Just so that they can understand.
Yeah, absolutely. We use a foam roller, and there are brands that I prefer over others. But we use a foam roller, and we also use those trigger balls. And we're basically just, again, what I have my clients send me photos, right? So I can see right away.
Visually.
They send me 2 photos. They send me a photo of them standing natural, and then they send me a photo of them doing the correction that I tell them to do. Both photos give me information that I use for the programming, because how they correct lets me know what is not able to be moved. And so releasing those pieces, and then we strength train. I'll actually have a lot of my clients release for a week before or 5 days before we even start strength training.
So like your program that you do with your clients that you take them through, is there like a certain amount of time, or again, it varies per client in terms of how long you work with them?
So I do have a particular program that I have put, it's 16 weeks.
Okay.
Because in my experience, it's the amount of time to really have the body now be a different body.
Okay.
So the goal with that is they can take that and then apply it, to their life in general, to anything they want to do, whatever their goals are, even if it's running or CrossFit, whatever their goals are. I don't take fitness away from people.
Yeah.
I help them get to where they want to go. So, sorry, I don't know for sure if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, I was asking how long the program is, the one-on-one. So you said it's 16 weeks, right?
Yeah. But people start seeing results fast, within the first week. But now we have to change the body, right? So now we have to make it automatic and natural. So that they're applying the breath and the movements during all of their exercises as well too, right? Yeah. So I have an entire program that actually explains this. So I show you how it's integrated into the deadlift. I show you how to integrate into the squats, into the push-up, into it's a big thing,
Yeah, I love that.
Lots of information, which is also why people are so successful, because I don't leave anything undone,
Yeah, that's awesome. So once people go through your program, Nicole, can women live a leak-free life once they go through this type of, I'm going to say strengthening and maintenance program, really to help them, try and get rid of all these symptoms? Can they live a leak-free life?
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is individual. Occasionally we do get a person that has gone through a lot of things, we can't control the things the person has gone through. And then sometimes we need, it fits under releases. Sometimes we do need additional help, like an osteopath or chiropractor, because they are able to do what we can't do. So they undo that. But then, yes, now you continue to strengthen it, So you have to segment and help the person. But to answer your question, yes, it can be done. And it's done routinely.
I have a question, because for women that have prolapse, right? Sometimes there's certain various degrees of it.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, they're told that it's far gone, nothing can be done anymore. Is that true? Can women that have severe prolapse, can doing this help improve it at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, let me tell the whole story. Remember I said way earlier, the earlier you get it, the better.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say I get a person, and this is generally not a young person, but it can happen. But let's say I get an older woman, and now she's stage 4. which is kind of one of the more advanced stages, we can still improve her life. She can still get better. Yeah, maybe it's not going to be back to a stage 1 because damage, right?
Yes.
Like all that, like decades of damage, but we can still improve it. She can still have quality of life. And it improved a lot, like where they can lift, where they can, but there is with prolapse when it's very far in, there's management involved with it, but the person is still better off. You know? Like it's still, you can't give up, because giving up would be like, I mean, you might as well give up on life then.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I think even, if they don't do something about it, it can get even worse, can it not? Like if they're not trying to strengthen it and deal with it and breathe properly and align themselves properly, like it can get probably even worse than where it is right now.
Well, that is what happens, right? Yeah. And that's why a woman would end up with it in stage 4, because it was just never addressed. They never saw physio. They never saw a person like me. Their pelvis kept being tucked under, and then it doesn't even have to be lifting at a gym. Life is also important, like
just everyday life and doing your normal things around there. Okay.
What I'd like to discuss though too is myths, Sarah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, because there's so much crappy myths. So since we're on the topic of prolapse, it is a well-known myth, like doctors will say this because they have been told. It's actually not their fault. It's just, it's not in their curriculum. It's not in your kinesiologist's curriculum. It's not in your physician's curriculum. It's not in your OB's curriculum. It's not in your midwife's curriculum. It's not their fault. It's just at the moment where it's not in their curriculum. So they're doing their best with the information that they have.
Okay.
It's in your pelvic floor physio's curriculum. And then thanks to them, I got to have privy to this information. But doctors will tell them, oh, you can't lift any higher than 10 pounds.
Oh, okay. I actually heard this. Yeah. Okay.
It's not true. We need to, what they should say is, hey, go see this strength training coach that can help you, or physio to start, both things ideally, so that you can lift heavier than 10 pounds. Because you guys, let's say you had a baby. Yeah, maybe for 2 weeks, your baby's 10 pounds.
Yeah.
But this one, now you're not going to lift your 6-month-old?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you have to. Life in general. Like if you try it today. If you try to live your life without lifting heavier than 10 pounds, it's almost impossible.
That's true.
Like, there's stuff in your kitchen you can't lift.
That's true.
Now you're not cooking for your family. Like it's just ridiculous. The thing needs to be, no, let's actually correct so that you can live your life. So that's myth number 1. The other myth, and this broke my heart. A woman just sent it to me the other day, and she's like, yeah, my family doctor is helping me, and send her this entire article. Well, the article had all kinds of myths in it.
Okay.
And one of them was, so you know how when I told you to take the breath and the breath goes down and then the pelvic floor automatically contracts up. So when we practice it, we're actually trying to force that contraction to just remind your body how to do it. So this article was telling the person to, while they're peeing, to then hold the flow of urine. Well, this is a known fact that doing that causes urinary tract infection.
So it's another myth. Yeah.
It's not true, but out there, women are reading this stuff. People like me, we're trying to work as hard as we can. But
to educate.
Yeah. We're
to educate.
To a scene where we're the only ones speaking. So is it even true what we're saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So women do have to kind of take a leap of faith and advocate for themselves. But unfortunately, there is things like that are frustrating. And then I'm a strength training coach, so I feel bad then to say to a person, well, the article you were given by your doctor is not good. I feel like that's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't tend to do it, but I find it.
But you're saying that the pelvic floor physiotherapists, they agree, well, obviously with it's part of their curriculum, and they really understand the pelvic floor because they're specialists in this, right?
Yeah.
So that they know that. So those are two really big myths. So not being able to lift over 10 pounds, and then also holding. Is that what you said, Nicole?
Yeah,
like holding.
like the ideas, they think they're kind of teaching you how to do Kegels.
Oh, okay.
That's the premise of it. So Kegels is another big one. So traditionally, myth-wise, Kegels is like hold, lift and hold, lift and hold, lift and hold. There is, I don't know what the percentage is, because we actually don't know what the percentage is, because so many women don't talk about it. But it's very high that women actually have tight pelvic floors. So that if you already have a tight muscle, you can again bring it somewhere else in the body. You already have a tight muscle, and now all you're doing is squeezing it, squeezing it, squeezing it, squeezing it. That's how
it just becomes. And it becomes even more tight. Yeah. Okay, those are really good myths. One thing I do want to tell people, hang on, let me just 1 second, Nicole.
Sure, for sure.
Is Nicole, I'm bringing this up because for many of you that are part of this community, you all are subscribed to Strong Fitness Magazine. And Nicole actually has, is this the second article?
Yeah,
you had one in the second one. So you have a series, do you not, Nicole? You have a series that is going on?
What they look like. So the first one was in this one.
Oh yeah, I have that one too.
Is in this one.
Yes.
And then it's going to continue on for four more
of them. So she has a series in each and every one of these issues explaining pelvic floor, explaining the issues, like really doing her big part in educating women around pelvic floor issues, and that you can resolve this. You can live a leak-free life. And at the end of it, it needs to be addressed the way that Nicole talked about it. So again, I will leave the link to Nicole's free guide, which is the 3 steps. What is it, Nicole? What's it called? The guide?
Yeah. The guide is 3 steps to leak free, but all these problems are also
in there. Okay. Yeah. So I'll put the link there. If you guys want it, click on the link, put your information out, and Nicole will email you that information. I'm just going to check here and see if there's any questions. Do any of you that are watching here live have any questions? Kim said, oh my God, I have done that. I'm not sure what you were talking about. Maybe the Kegels. Is that what you're talking about, Kim? Is the Kegels? If you can hear me,
or maybe it was the story about deadlifting and changing.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. And then Laura Meadows says the series is so good because she's got obviously the subscription to Strong Fitness Magazine. Does anybody else have any other questions? If you can hear me, please write it. Yes, Sarah. Okay, Kim was saying that was right, that she's done the Kegels before.
Oh, the Kegel. Yeah. Well, it's what's being told, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that as well, too. It was like, do the Kegels to kind of strengthen. All right. So Nicole, where can people find you to come and stalk you and find out more information about you that are that want to come and see you? Cause I think you're awesome. You should all go follow her. Where can they find you?
Yeah. So I am on, I have a Facebook group called Pelvic Floor Secrets, but if you sign up for my guide, we'll be sending you that information anyways. Instagram, I'm Pelvic Floor Secrets. And then I have pelvicfloorsecrets.ca for my website. Okay.
I'll be sure to make sure I put those links also in the comment section after this post. The replay will be posted in my Facebook group. So I'll make sure I put that all in there. And then also I will be emailing out the replay to any of you that are on my email list tomorrow. Thank you so much, Nicole, for all of this wealth of information. I hope all of you enjoyed it. I think we've got about probably 15, 20 people watching here live, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming on here. Nicole and I are part of a very close-knit community. That's how Nicole and I know each other. I didn't go over this, but we've both been coached by Coach JVB, and we're part of her inner circle and her community. So that's how Nicole and I know each other. We have a lot of very similar beliefs when it comes to nutrition and training. And again, thank you so much for coming here and educating all of us. I love you. I'm sure everybody else loves you as well, too. And have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sarah.
Bye. Okay, bye. Thanks for tuning in to the Muscle Strength and Menopause podcast. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you hit the follow, leave a 5-star review, or share this with another woman over 40 who needs to hear this message. And if you're ready to stop working against your hormones and start building the muscle that becomes your menopause superpower, visit sarahfrenzafitness.com to learn about my one-on-one coaching program using my signature hourglass body method. Remember, this isn't your decline, ladies. This is your comeback. And so I hope you tune in again next week. Now, before we go, a quick reminder, this podcast offers health, nutrition, and fitness information for entertainment and educational purpose only. Always consult with your physician or healthcare professional for any health-related questions. And remember that any information provided here is at your own risk.